going to do a basic dip for ceramics. Good idea to wear some surgical gloves. There's a couple of different ways to do it. This one I'm going to come up. I'm going to do this entire bowl in one color. So dip it all the way in. There's still a little left on the inside. Dip a cup. Pour it right in. Get a good shake. There's one. Might dry your fingers off.
Now, why didn't you dip it all the way in?
Well, of course you don't want to get any on the bottom because that glaze would stick to the kiln shelf and you'd have a problem. So I'll only dip it to our edge here. Give it a little shake. Try to be sure to cover any areas that were not glazed. Give it another little shake. Take a look at it. Dip it in. Shake. Another way I might do it, if I don't want the entire bowl to be one color, is I may just pour into the inside and swirl it around some. This particular one I'm going to want a little bit dipped on the edge, so and then later I'll dip this into another color and it'll make a two-tone bowl. Just a little bit of a checking for any loose bisque wear. Sometimes I like to rub them down with a knife to get any loose pieces off. Might look like what ought to be done. When I first started about 3 years ago, it didn't look this easy, so I can practice a little bit or something. It's become kind of second nature for me now. Alright, show you what I would do if I was going to add a second layer of glaze to the pots we had glazed earlier. On these I just want to put a different color on the rim. So that's just as simple as you figure you want about an inch on the inside, so maybe you start off with about an inch on one side, stick it in, give it a whip, and that gives you a two-tone glaze, and when you fire this, they'll blend together. So I'll just do a couple of these for you. Always give it a good shake. So there's some of the bowls we sent you have a rim like that. So this is one that's glazed on the inside and just a little bit on the outside. My goal in this is to get mostly this glaze only on the outside with just a little bit on the inside. So let it go in just a little bit, and then I want to go straight down and go to the edge, come right back up. Try not to let any air in. You're creating a little vacuum there. So now you have a little two-tone here, and there will actually be a two-tone there. Let's say I was distracted, doing the same thing. Maybe one a little further than I wanted on one side. Got a little bit on my rim. I always have a bucket of water that I keep nearby, and I can clean up any little messes that I make. And sometimes when you're done, you can when they're dry, you can pick them up and wipe the bottoms off. That might look like something your character would do too. So, in a little bit, and then straight down. Maybe give it a little turn to make sure it's all evenly glazed. And that should pretty much give you an idea of what we did with the pots we sent you. Give it a little turn, shake it out.
Feel.
There you go.
Ta-da.
Dipping Pots 101.